The Core 4, the world famous Core 4 and more. You know what? Every once in a while, we got to sprinkle a little bit more in here. And tonight, I'm taking the Core 4 honors, and I do not take those honors lightly. I promise you that. So we call it the Core 4 and more because we're going to give you a little bit more to do. These are like sort of baselines, places to start your builds. And the first place we're going to go is we're going to start with Iowa State. And we're going to pick one of Keyshawn Gilbert, Tommen Lipsey, or Curtis Jones. Okay, so go to the Cyclones. Hear anybody like a Cyclone? Yeah, pick a Cyclone, and it's going to be Gilbert, Lipsey, or Jones. Pick one, okay? They range from 6,900 to 7,900, and that may play a role in who you decide to pick in terms of your build. Pick one of them. 91-point implied total. One of them is going 4X, guaranteed. Book it. Pick one of them, at least one of them. Slot them in there. Nate Calmise, second here on the Core 4, the Washington State guard. Too good of a game environment, too good of a price, 7K flat. Slot him in. Jaron Riley, yes, really, another 6K flat right there. High rates across the board in a nice game environment. And then one more. Either or here, Isaiah Hawthorne or Langston Reynolds. Hawthorne 4,300, Reynolds at 4,500. Now, I mean, if they're playing 30 minutes, it's too cheap, period. So pick one, all right? Pick one of these Northern Colorado guys. Okay, I mean, you're going to end up with two Northern Colorado guys, right? Because we got Riley in there. We told you to get your Northern Colorado gear. It was coming in the Core 4, broskies and broskets.
It's a bear show.
And there it is. It is. And we're going heavy on them, and we think you should too. So Isaiah Hawthorne or Langston Reynolds there, and really at 6K, Calmise at 7K, and then pick one of the Iowa State guys. You're going to have some money left over. There is some value in this slate, and you'll be able to find it for sure. 61.75 left with what you see on the screen. That's plenty of money. We're gonna get some more bread tomorrow. I'm loving seeing all the green screens that the one and done broskies have, that our breadheads have, that send them out here to us in those Twitter streets. And Mike, why don't you close us out? Some El Capitan closing thoughts here.
Yeah, I mean, so for the last Dawn, it's gonna be 35-10. Texas. I'll be at the game, so I'll buzz you when that does happen. But let's see here. So when you bring up that Core 4, man, the next thing you got to ask yourself is Janai Broome question. What do you do with him? Because if you pay for Janai Broome there, then that's going to take. You're going to have to decide on a value play, another value play, or probably two more value plays. So that's the thing here with Janai Broome. If you do not play Janai Broome, you play somebody like Chaney Johnson, you have a lot more flexibility with your salary and with what you can do with your lineup. So I feel like Broome is kind of like what we talked about Edey last year, where it's like I lost so much money being on the wrong side of Edey, saying you can't keep getting away with this, and you kept getting away with this. Second question you got to ask, Second question you got to ask yourself is how many pieces in the Northern Colorado Washington State? So we like at least two, and we like at least all of them. Do you play a Watts or a Coward? Because if you play Coward, you can't afford. You probably can't play Broome. So that probably takes you off really and down to one of the other 4K Northern Colorado guys. So those are just kind of the questions there. What do you do with the first game, which is kind of ugly? Do you use a shoemate? Use in that mid? Do you try to take a chance at a Breed or Murray? So a couple of cross-offs here with IUPUI. Do you take a secondary value shot on, the guys they talked about with Northern Alabama? And then kind of the last thing here, Jay, is like, what Arkansas guy is going to go off in this 83 implied total? Like, is it Fland who just hits the 4X? Is it John L. Davis who has that big game? Is it DJ Wagner that goes off for cheap for 5,600? Or is it Diarra who just continues to do what he's doing? So those are kind of the questions, I'll be answering as I go through my day tomorrow for sure.
Man, I mean, we've been expecting some much bigger fantasy point, DK point numbers to be the top dog in some of these tournaments. It's been some lower scoring slates lately, and maybe you only need Boogie Fland to get the 4X. Maybe that's all you need.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's all you need.
Some ugly game totals and environments, absolutely.
Yeah, so if Boogie Fland, because people are going to be paying up, And some of these pay-ups are going to flop. If Janai Broom goes
He puts up a 28. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Flan goes for 35.
Yeah, I mean, that's the difference right there. That can make all the difference in the world in terms of who you're paying up for. And then if you find the right value, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.